Hello everyone, welcome back to another HyperForce recap, episode 10, 11, my bad. Where we left off was in the middle of nowhere of a forest back in like 600s medieval times. We encountered these knights. So this episode was kind of a filler, but important things happened, so I'm just gonna go skim through it, do episode 12 afterwards, like boom. Okay, ready, set, go. Marv is missing. He was taken by a premator. So the rest of the HyperForce gang, they're introduced to these knights, and the knights take them to their castle. Something happened with the knights. They lost their king, King Arthur, who was fighting a dragon and then disappeared and is no longer to be seen for weeks or months. I forgot what it was. So while King Arthur is away, Princess Lady Guinevere is in charge. So they celebrate. There's a party. Merlin talks with Jack. Merlin is the source of their power. The knights have a round table where they treat everyone equally, and they are a team of 5 knights, including Lady Guinevere. It's the HyperForce ship also got destroyed by Alpha and his chest cannon. They asked the blacksmith if they can build a piece back and help him rebuild it with the technology they have at that time. The HyperForce Rangers are like, I'm gonna help with this dragon, defeat him, and get your king back. Also, Vesper is named Vespero in this time because she's a dude now for this time. Okay, so they go. Lady Guinevere joins them. She's like, all right, I want to join you with my knight. One of the knights named Sir Eddie. He's one of Eddie's ancestors. They take the short and dangerous path. They run along, they meet monsters, they fight. When they get in a sticky situation, they morph. Lady Guinevere, she morphs. Yeah, apparently that's the thing. So she morphs into this princess knight. And then she's not the only one that morphs. The other knights. And it turns out that these knights are the rangers from their times. So apparently the ranger power has been going on from generations to generations. They are the power knights. They go, they meet the dragon, they fight the dragon. It turns out the dragon was King Arthur. Lady Guinevere was like, thank you for the help. How can we repay you? And they're like, I don't know. She was like, alright, everybody think a number from 1 to 10. And then they all thought of a number. And then she was like, okay, Chloe was the closest one. So she gets this crystal, and Lady Guinevere is like, alright, whenever you're in trouble, just do what you do. Just morph, and it will come to you. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then they off to go save Marv. That's episode 11, shortened. And there's a couple things I missed, but you know what? I gotta catch up. Next episode. Okay, episode 12 of HyperForce. Yay! I didn't want to wear change outfits, so I just wore a jacket, and might as well wear a red jacket because we're trying to might as well wear a red jacket because we're trying to save the red HyperForce Ranger, Marv. The gang's in the hyperstream, and it's been 3 Earth days, I believe, and they tried to contact Jen Scott from the future. Now they don't know what to do, so Vesper was just like, you know what, I'm gonna try something different. So she grabs Chloe's hand and it's like, let us pray to Marv to see if we can do anything. And then Alpha's like, yeah, what are you guys doing? Like, is this gonna work? And then Jack's like, come on girls, you gotta think seriously. So then Eddie's like, you know what, let's join them. So Eddie grabs Jack's hand and I think Chloe's hand, and they hold hand, and then Vesper's like, dear Marv, like, if you're out there, please give us a sign. And then Alpha decides to join in, and apparently they sense Marv. They actually sense his energy. Alpha's like, wow, it's either this worked, there's either 2 explanations for this. It's either it worked and we found Marv, or that holding Vesper's hand and our robotic signals or whatever boosted up to find a signal. And I'm like, I like the praying better. That sounds more like, I don't know, it sounds more better, since, you know, the power of the ranger power inside them, the ranger energy makes sense a little bit, you know. Eddie's like, alright, I'm gonna go on the computer, I'm gonna type some stuff and see if I can find a way to go to Marv. Apparently they need energy to do so. But that's not it. They get a message from Jen Scott herself. It's a video of Jen Scott saying like, oh, don't worry, like, I'm out here in the future fighting a fight where you guys are handling the Alliance leader traveling through time. So since I can't be there to help you, I'm gonna send people she knows to help him. Eddie's like, alright, we gotta lock on to Marv's energy. Like, what do we do? Do you guys want to make the jump? Do you guys want to wait until we get the reinforcement? Everyone's just like, no, this may be our only chance to save Marv. So we'll make the jump. So hold on to your seatbelts because they're headed to the Alliance ship. While this is happening, we cut to Marv, and we see Marv alone in a jail cell with the lasers, with putties around him. He's all alone. His morpher doesn't work, so he can't communicate with his team. The Alliance leader comes in. It's like, Marv, you have been annoying all this time. You end up finding us. I don't know how you do it, but you're getting really annoying. Apparently the Alliance leader wants Alpha 55. They want their robot. At first I was like, does he want Vesper? But then the more they kept talking, it sounded like he wants Alpha 55. Marv tries to trick him like, we have a tracker on you. We have a tracker on this ship, so wherever you go, we know where you are at all times. Like, if you let me go, I can be on your side and show you where the tracker is. But then alarms go off and they see the HyperForce ship cruising around, and they're like, how did they find us? Like, this always happens, right? Always happens. The Alliance leader goes up to Premator and is like, go to their ship, aboard them, do what you can and destroy the ship. And Premator's like, you got it, boss. And so Premator opens a portal and jumps into the HyperForce ship. So the reason why the ship was kind of going like crazy is because Eddie was driving, and Eddie isn't a driver, so he barely knew what he was doing. So Vesper comes in like, let me take care of this. You can go with the other people. I'll drive. As soon as she takes control, the ship starts moving like very smoothly, like no like bumps or like, you know, crashes, whatever. So everything's all going smooth. But then Chloe was in the kitchen and she spots Marvin. She spots Marv. Alright, I mean, hey man. Marv comes in, it's like, whoa, how's everyone doing? Like, how are you? We're like, oh my god, it's so cool to be back. Spank the butt. And then Chloe's like, wow, Marv, you're acting very hyper today. Like, are you okay? Are you fine? Did the Alliance do anything to you? Like, why are you here? So they kind of get a sense that this isn't Marv because Marv doesn't spank his butt. So Chloe's like, okay, Marv, if this is really you, like, what's our secret technique? And Marv is like, oh, the secret technique? That's the secret technique we always use. You know, the one we do, like, cool stuff, like where we jump 50 feet in the air and just stick to landing. And Chloe's like, alright. And then she goes with the other guys, like, she goes to Eddie and Jack, like, okay, this isn't Marv. Marvin should know our secret technique because we do it every episode, but, like, for some reason he's not remembering. So Eddie's like, alright, I'll be right back, and goes and gets a mirror. And when he comes back, he shows the mirror to Marvin, and he's like, hey, Marvin, like, look at this mirror and tell me you are who you say you are. And then Marvin's like, oh, what is that disgusting thing? And he transforms to Premator. And Premator was disguising himself to be Marv, or Marvin. Oh my god, surprise, shocking. So when Premator becomes his normal self again, he grabs Alpha and tries to run, but then Vesper was like, oh, you know what, there's a commotion going on, so I'm gonna do a barrel roll. And then she like just spins the ship around, everyone gets knocked back, and then Jack puts the handcuff on Premator. But when he did that, Premator turned to his dog and escaped and started running away. Jack tried to kick Premator when he was his dog. Like, it was like when he turned into his dog, Jack was like hesitates. So he's like, oh my god, it's my dog. But he's like, but it really ain't. So he kicks him. Well, he tries to kick him, but Premator escapes and runs away. So when they know that they're having trouble, Alpha 55 is like, oh, Rangers, like, just morph and do what you guys do and just destroy everything. So they morph, except for Marv because he doesn't have powers, and because he's somewhere else too. So
HyperForce, blue, ready. Power up!
HyperForce! Pink! Ready? Power up! HyperForce! Black! Ready? Power up!
HyperForce, yellow, ready. Power up!
alright, so we're back in the ship with Marv in the cell. And Marv is alone and he hears some shuffling around, like someone moving. Putties that came in and started throwing rocks at Marv, like they're bullying him. Marv then gets one of the rocks, he keeps it for himself. Putties leave. So then Marv is alone in his jail cell again, and he has the rock, so he tries to open his morpher to try to fix it or anything. He sees someone in the same room. He's like, is anyone there? Like, who are you? So the guy is asking Marv, like, give me your morpher. And Marv's like, no, I don't know who you are. This could be a trap. I don't trust anyone right now, since if Marv is pretty much almost dying or destroyed, but he doesn't have the strength to fight, so he doesn't want to do anything stupid. Marv was like, okay, he tried to think smart, like, okay, I'll give you my morpher. So he steps forward. When he got close, he started touching his shoulder, and it's like, oh my god, this is someone here. Someone is literally in the same room as I am. And he found that really weird. In front of him was a Time Force Ranger. But not any Time Force Ranger. It was a new Time Force Ranger. A silver Time Force Ranger. When he's touching his shoulder, Marv is like, who are you, really? Time Force Silver steps back, takes his helmet off, and it's, drum roll please, Joe, Marv's brother, who's not dead. He's alive. He is the Time Force Silver Ranger. Marv is shocked. He's like, oh my god, this can't be real. They told me you were dead. And Joe teleports to the other side of the jail cell to be with Marv. Like, he teleports inside the jail cell because putties come in, and putties see that Marv is there. But Marv pretends to be Premator, and it's like, you fools, like, the guy escaped to go find Marv, the Red Ranger. Like, he escaped from his cell. Like, but before you go, tell me where the control room is so I can do some stuff. And putties are like confused because they're like pretty dumb, so they're like, oh, what's going on? And then he slaps his butt, like, come on, like, get moving, show me where this is at. So then they're like, oh, like, he slapped his butt, so that means he's the real Premator, so he's not faking. Joe decides to get one of them and pushes them in the bar, the energy bar, and yeah, and it creates an opening. So Marv escapes, but as soon as he steps out, more alarms come in. And Marv is like, I don't want to fight because I don't have energy to fight. Marv breaks free. He sees his brother Joe in front of him. So what he tries to do is he throws the rock, but Joe catches it. It's like, I'm real, like, believe me. So we come back to the HyperForce ship, and we see Jack rushing towards Chloe's mom, but she's fast and quick and moves out of the way. So Eddie suggests, like, hey, what if we surround Premator? That way he can't transform into something that we can connect with. Jack looks at Chloe and says, Chloe, are you able to do this? Because right now he's your mom and we don't want to do anything right now to, you know, hurt you emotionally. So she's like, yeah, I can do this. They surround him, but when they get close to him, Premator closes his hands and does like a little shockwave and blows everyone away. Vesper hears the commotion that's going on, so she's like, all right, Alpha, I'm gonna go check on our friends. Can you like take care of the ship? Like, can you drive it? And Alpha's like, yes, I can. So Vesper goes down where they are, and she sees what's happening. Vesper tackles him and like has him restrained, and she's like, all right, are you gonna stop hurting my friends and start, you know, helping us out? And Prematur's like, nope, I'm not gonna do that. So Vesper's like, all right, that's fine. And she gets her, I think her Cerberus disc, like, hits him once. And then she's like, all right, Chloe, what do you want to do? Chloe goes up to Prematur and remembers that paralyzing move. So she does it on Prematur. The Prematur gets hit, it's like gets paralyzed, but then quickly gets back up, and it's like, nope, that's not gonna work on me. After that, Prematur gets a little bit crazy, and it's like, you know what? If I can't hijack this ship, then I'm just gonna destroy it. And he just starts going crazy, hits everything, starts shooting everything. The HyperForce ship is like the helicarrier. It's just, no matter how many times you fix it, it's just gonna end up getting destroyed. But yeah, so Prematur goes around the halls, destroys everything, it destroys everything, sparks happen, alarms go on. So at this point, the Alliance leader sees the ruckus that's going on in the HyperForce ship. So they're like, you know what, I guess we'll join them, hitting them. So they're kind of getting hit from both sides, from the inside and the outside. Someone tells Alpha, like, hey, can you like try to get Marv to teleport inside us? But Alpha's like, nope, I can't do that. I can't teleport Marv inside the ship. The Alliance leader's ship has shields and it's not letting me get through. So Vesper has an idea, like, what if we try to ram the ship into the shield? That way it gets destroyed a little bit and we have time to teleport Marv into the ship. And it's like, I don't think that's gonna work because we don't have much energy left, and if we do ram it, the ship might get destroyed. Vesper tries praying again, see if that helps. Alpha is like, come on guys, we gotta do something serious. He's telling them that the energy is running low, they don't know what to do. So Chloe's like, what if we turn off all the power in like one area of the ship and move it to this so we can focus on one area, and Alpha's like, that sounds like a great idea. Premator is destroying everything right now, so I don't think we can do that right now. Jack is like, what if we get Premator, push him inside the pocket dimension, and make him think he's destroying the ship? That way he's focused in there, and we're out here trying to solve the problem with Marv. Like, that's a great idea. So then we cut back to Marv inside the alliance ship with Joe. So now we're with the brothers. Marv still doesn't believe that his brother Joe is like right next to him. He's literally like 2 feet away from him, but he doesn't believe it. So he just plays along. He's like, all right, you want my morpher? Here's my morpher. Do what you need. Joe is trying to contact the Alpha. Marv hears the alliance leader talking in the distance, talking about that there's the HyperForce ship causing commotion again. What Joe wants to do is contact Alpha, but what Marv wants to do is put the shields down so he can communicate with his team and hopefully teleport to them. So Marv was like, okay Joe, since I can't fight right now, you're gonna have to lead the way. And Joe's like, alright, I'm already on it, like, don't worry about it. Like, we're gonna go to the control room. I'm gonna continue my mission. Like, we're taking too long with this. Like, I'm gonna do my mission. You're gonna be safe. Go back to your team. So when they're walking through the halls, they spot a villain we saw before in the show already. We see Volcanos. So Volcanos comes out of one of the doors in the hallway, and he summons putties. Joe doesn't recognize him. He's never seen him before. Joe doesn't recognize Volcanos, and he's like, wow, this guy looks kind of threatening. So he gives Marv back his morpher and is like, okay, if anything happens, you're gonna morph and you're gonna help me fight these putties and hopefully that guy over there. And Marv is like, I don't even have energy, like I'm dying, like there's not much I can do. And Joe's like, don't worry, like I'll do all the heavy work, you just back me up from a distance. But all Marv wants to do is just communicate with his team. He tries it still doesn't work. He really doesn't want to fight. Joe teleports to the other side of Volcanos and the putties to distract them. He gets Dumbo, starts throwing it. The putties hear it, so they go to that side so that he teleports back. Marv is there where Joe left them. Marv is just like, you know what, it's morphing time. So he morphs. He heals a little bit, but he can at least like walk faster and better. And then the putties run where the jail cell was. They see that it's empty. They explore the area and they see Marv and Joe together hiding. So the putties are in a straight line going up to Marv, and Marv is like, you know what, this seems like an easy shot. So he just gets his blade blaster, he rushes through and destroys 9 of them. Volcanos sees Marv and it's like, whoa, I don't think you're supposed to be out here. So he summons more putties. It's like, you better get ready to fight. But Marv tries to convince him. He's like, wait, I don't attack, I'm here out of my free will. The alliance leader wants me to find a tracker because that's how we've been discovering you. He let me go to help you guys. I'm joining the alliance. He's trying to convince him, but Volcanos is like, I don't think so, and just hits Marv with like a rock or one of his like attacks. That hit Marv pretty bad, so he gets knocked back. He demorphs. He's weak again. 4 HP left. Remember, this is an RPG, so like, you know. Joe hits Volcanos, but he kind of misses, so he only scratches Volcanos' shoulder. And Volcanos like, whoa, like, who are you? I'm gonna summon more putties to go after you. That rhymed? No, I didn't. Okay, so he summons more putties, and they're ready to fight. Yeah, that's going on with them. So we cut back to the HyperForce ship with the other guys. Man, we're going back and forth this episode, like, whoa. So Premator is still making a ruckus in the ship. He is just making noise. Eddie is trying to move him closer to the pocket dimension so they can push him. So Eddie tries to rush him and push him, but then Premator moves out of the way and pushes him instead. The ship is running out of energy. That part of the ship just shuts down completely. So Eddie is locked inside the pocket dimension and is just like alone in the darkness, and Eddie's just like, guys, like I can't see anything, like someone help me. So Vesper's like, well, let's do something different. Is how about we push Premator out the airlock so that way, you know, he doesn't come back and bother us ever again. And Jack's like, that seems pretty dark, like you're treating him like some kind of alien. Vesper's like, let's get some bananas, we'll shoot it, like we'll shoot him with bananas, like hopefully lure him in near the pocket, the airlock, and we push him out. So Vesper's like, that sounds like a great plan. She goes to the kitchen, tries to get bananas. They're doing this. They are doing this. They're doing something pretty evil. Jack is trying to like fight Premator on himself, trying to like keep him calm. And Chloe brings all these bananas and puts it near the airlock. So then Vesper goes back to where Alpha is, and inside the PA she's like, attention, free bananas are in this area. If you want your free bananas, please go to this area now. So Premature goes and leaves Jack and goes to the back of the ship where the airlock is. So Premature goes where the bananas are. He transforms into Chloe's mom and gets really mad. It's like, oh, I know what these people are trying to do. They're trying to kill me. So when he gets there with the banana, he starts destroying everything. Manages to get Alpha and opens the portal and he's about to leave. But then Chloe, she's like, you know what? I had enough. She gets her bow and arrow and shoots. She did it so clean that the arrow went through the back of Chloe's mom and it ended up in the front, so it's like sticking. So after the arrow shoots, Jack comes in and like hits Premature. Alpha is free. He runs off. But then Jack is left there and Premature gets Jack and it's like, you know what, I'm holding you. You're gonna die today with me. But then Vesper comes in and is like, you know what, like that's my friend, like, you know, something cheesy, like I'm done with your monkey business. So she goes and attacks Premature, which is still Chloe's mom. So she attacks Chloe's mom. Jack breaks free, and then Vesper opens the airlock. It opens, and everyone gets trying to get sucked in. It's like, oh my god, grab onto something, because I don't want any of you to die except for the monkey. So this is where something cool and different happens. All right, so Vesper opens the airlock. Air is like escaping from the ship. Everyone's getting pushed in. It was Vesper who was like, hey Chloe, don't you have something that Lady Guinevere gave you when we were, you know, in the medieval times? And Chloe's like, yeah. She gets out the crystal and is like, she gave me this, like I still don't know what it does. She told me like to pretend like I'm morphing and it'll come to me. So Vesper's like, then do it. And so then Chloe's like, okay. So she's like, it's morphing time. And then she transforms into this beautiful majestic ranger with gold shiny parts. It's also pink and she has wings. It's kind of hard to describe because I don't think they have a picture of it yet, but all I know is she's majestic and beautiful and it's pink and gold. The arrows, she has arrows like around her, surrounding her, kind of like a tornado. Shoots the arrows at Premature, hits him, and then he gets thrown out into space. Yeah, they murdered. They like legitimately murdered someone. But yeah, they defeated Premature with Chloe's new battleizer. So when Premature is thrown out the airlock, Vesper closes it and yeah, everything's okay. They open the door so Eddie can leave out of the pocket dimension. They're like, how's it going? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. So he just fixes things. He starts fixing the ship. Yeah, so now we go back to Marv and Joe. We left off with Joe fighting Volcanus and the putties. Volcanus is like throwing his rock energies towards Joe. Joe is just like dodging him, being the really good ranger he is. And yeah, so while he's fighting, Marv is like, you know what, I'm gonna try to sneak out of here, go to the engine room, see what I can do, you know, to put these shields down. So he runs off to the engine room. He sees like this like machine and energy is just being out of it. So he's just like, I think this is the source of the energy. So he just starts hitting everything, slashes, alarm goes off. The shields go down, so he's able to communicate with his team. So he's like, hey, like Alpha, like, are you there? Someone there? And they all hear him like, oh my god, like Marv, you're alive. And they're like, yes. Marv is like, Alpha, can you teleport more than one person? Because I have someone here who helps me. Like, please, like, do something. And Alpha is just like, no, because we're pretty bad ourselves. Like, we dealt with like a monkey, so we don't have enough energy. We can only teleport one person. And like at this time, Marv is just freaking like, oh my god, like I was saved by someone here. I was saved by this Time Force Ranger. And they were like, whoa, really? Like a Time Force Ranger? Like, yeah, he wasn't like the ones we know from the books, from our class. Like, he is a new ranger. He is Silver. And they're like, what? Silver Ranger? I don't think that's possible. But Marv was like, yes, he saved me. Like, you're not gonna believe who it is. Like, they were thinking like how they can solve the situation. So they were like, what if we send like someone to Marv to help him out? But they're like, no, we're done here. We gotta go. We're running out of energy. Might as well get Marv and then just leave. So then Vesper's like, okay, I'm gonna put my energy into the ship, like, because, you know, since I'm a robot, I can do that. But yeah, she didn't have enough energy, so Eddie's just like, you know what, take some of mine. And then Chloe's like, hey yo, I'm pretty hacked, like, have some of my energy. So they have enough energy to teleport Marv. Scorpina and the Alliance leader go in the engine room like, oh, there you are, Marv, we found you. And then Marv is like, oh my god, you're here. Like, I'm finding the tracker. This is where the tracker was all along. and he was materializing to disappear into the HyperForce ship, and he saw himself like, you know what, never mind, like peace out, see you later, and he teleports into the HyperForce ship. He's back with the gang, and Eddie's like, you know what, you seem pretty hurt, let me heal you up, like you gotta rest, like you gotta stop walking, stop talking, like sit down and let me heal you up. Everyone is like, you know what, since we're here, like we can take down the Alliance leader. Like look at Chloe. She has this like new battleizer. Like it's something we can use to destroy the Alliance leader. But Marv's like, no, we can't. I'd rather leave and think of a plan. The HyperForce ship stopped moving. Joe knows that he's safe and sound, so he teleports into the HyperForce ship. So when everything's all calm, Alpha's like, oh my god, like Alpha's like, oh my goodness, someone else is in the ship. And then Marv takes out his blaster and is, who are you? And then it's Joe coming out and it's like, I'm your brother, like I told you multiple times. Jack, take care of my brother when I'm gone. I'm on a different mission. And then Eddie's just like, puts Marv's gun down. It's like, remember when I told you that, you know, when Primator is pretending to be your brother, like that's not him. Like this is impossible. This is real. This is actually your brother. So Joe is like, thank you all for your help. Marv, I'm glad you're a ranger. I'm proud of you. Like Jack, take care of my bro. All of you guys, like, be the best rangers you can be. And he teleports and leaves and they say goodbye. So after he leaves, Vesper just immediately is like, oh my god, your brother is alive and he's hot. So they all laugh, and Vesper's like, alright Alpha, come on, let's go to the hyperstream, see where we can go next. So Marv tells them what the Alliance leader told him. Marv is like, so I know that the Alliance leader wants Alpha 55 for some reason, like he's the key. And Alpha's just like, well, I'm not really much, like I don't do much. And Marv's like, you know what, like whatever you're doing a great job. Like you're the reason why we know where the Alliance leader is. And Alpha 55 is like, the reason why I know is because I feel a distortion in time, so that's where we go next. Vesper and Chloe tell him like, hey, you know, like we knew where you were because we felt your energy, like we came together and we, you know, felt you. Like you were still there. They started thinking Chloe was just like, wait, your brother's still alive. I thought he went missing for like, you know, a couple of years. And Marv was like, yeah, they told me he died. Like they told me, you know, he was gone. Chloe's just like, maybe that's what happened with my parents. Maybe they're on a secret mission with Time Force. Like the reason why I joined Time Force was to find them out. But since there's a bigger picture now, since we know Joe was alive and he's a Time Force Silver Ranger, maybe my parents are also out there doing missions for Time Force. Like there's a bigger picture out there, like maybe they're still alive. And Vesper's like, alright everyone settle down, go rest, go eat something. Like Marv, you go sleep because you must be tired. And then everyone's like, alright, so they do a group high five and that's where it ends. Episode 11 and 12 in one video. I did it. What did you do today? Have a great day or night or wherever you are.